Mr. Cavendish, this is going to go on your permanent record.
The door won't budge.
Oh, no staircase back here this time.
Door won't budge.
Don't mind me, just walking into your building, breaking in, and I'm armed, but please don't shoot me on sight.
Judging by the layer of dust on it, this ring hasn't been worn in a long time. So why keep it around?
For that information, watch El Gretzko and learn about Haida's obsession, and you'd probably be like, oh, okay, I get it. Someone could just pine after somebody forever. Sounds like he's divorced, but he's not psyched about that divorce.
Won't budge.
As opposed to seeing it as some kind of sweet release. What? Oh.
I loved you. I always loved you.
Oh yeah. Yep.
A lot of fancy dresses locked away in a dark corner for a long time. I'm starting to smell some deep family trauma here.
Yep, he is not moving on. That music cue. The professor's fact list. Westerbrook usually has his lunch about 2:30. Get some soap. Anna always stays in the fish market. She shouldn't learn about me. New hauls of fish arrive every 2 days. An ounce per box will be enough. The guard spends most of his time on the second floor during the night. Think about a way to divert suspicions from Westerbrook. Don't want him to come to any harm. Don't forget to return the flask to storage. Think about plan B. Okay, so he doesn't want anything to happen to Westerbrook, which means he probably did not ricin poison him. So Westerbrook's illness might be a coincidence, or he might have poisoned him in a much less dangerous way.
This Cavendish guy did an impressive investigation, and the EOD's in the center of all of it.
Newspaper issue, February. Disturbance in the Shells as fighting breaks out between locals and Innsmouthers. The cause of the conflict appears to be the disappearance of several women, with locals accusing a group of Innsmouthers of the crime. Oakmont police continue to investigate the vanishings, but as yet the case remains unsolved. One source from the Shells reports that traces of fish scales and seaweed were found at multiple victims' homes, which seems to have precipitated the fight. Newspaper issue, March. Going, gone. Body count rises as vanishings continue across Oakmont. Locals are in a panic, with most of the reported disappearances occurring in the Shells, Salvation Harbor, and Grimhaven Bay. Captain Caleb Lyons of the Oakmont Police has put out a call for information. Our evidence suggests a link between these disappearances and the charity organization EOD that has recently risen to prominence among the city's poor, said Lyons. Most of the victims seem to have either joined this group or been a recipient of their alms. We encourage anyone with information to come forward. The Chronicle reminds readers to avoid any suspicious newcomers, especially Innsmouthers, and to remain at home during evening hours. Stay alert.
This Cavendish guy did an impressive investigation, and the EOD's in the center of all of it.
George, I can't live like this anymore. There's something I have to tell you.
I don't care what your damn EOD cult demands, Anna! I thought the child was mine! Mine!
Uh-oh. He got cucked and now he's gonna poison all of the people you're trying to help.
You will never understand our cause. My child is blessed by the sea. I'm leaving you, George.
Okay, let's see what we have here.
I don't...
George, I can't live like this anymore. You will never understand our cause. My child is blessed by the sea. I'm leaving you, George. George?
I don't care what your damn EO...
You will never understand our cause. My child is blessed by the sea. I'm leaving you, George.
George Cavendish. He had a wife named Anna. She had a baby that was not his, but blessed by the sea and claimed by the EOD. This caused their split.
What?
Who are you? What are you doing here?
Calm down. My name's Charles Reed. I'm a private investigator.
Right now, you look like someone who's breaking into my house. A burglar. Explain yourself.
Well, I am breaking into your house. In fact, I did already. So, yes. Yep. So can we talk about how you're like obsessing over your ex-wife and really want her back, and in order to get her back you're willing to murder dozens or hundreds of people? Because that's... yeah.
Easy there. Anna from the fish market asked me to find you. You know her, right?
I should have guessed. I know her much better than you think. What does she want from me now? She already took everything I have.
It's not about what she wants. It's about what you did. Poisoning the fish. Sound familiar? Yeah, I can prove you did it.
Hold on. Before you jump to conclusions, I want you to know that I had a good reason to do what I did. It all comes back to Anna.
Oh, this should be fun. What's your good reason for poisoning innocent people? You know the EOD are feeding the hungry, don't you?
No. That's exactly the problem. They're not doing it out of charity. They do it to spread their influence and recruit new members. Some of those initiates, as they call them, vanish without a trace. And not just them. They kidnap ordinary folks, too.
And poisoning the fish would prevent this how?
Oh, you see, not everyone in this city believes in the EOD yet. They have opposition among the citizens, both rich and poor. A rumor of the EOD's fish being poisonous and several incidents would be enough to undermine the EOD by sparking fear and mistrust.
It's not really a rumor, though, if you're actually killing them. Also, considering how much people die in the city, will you even be able to reliably trace it back to it being from the fish? Like, what if a bunch of random people die around the city and no one puts together what caused it? I guess you would just float that information. Who's Anna to you? We know who Anna is to him. Oh well.
What's Anna got to do with all this?
As you might have already gleaned, she was my wife.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it all starts to come together now.
The EOD robbed me of her. It all started with the free fish. We were all short on food at the time, and then they hooked her with their nonsense about the benevolent sea and greater good. I looked past it for some time, but then...
She became pregnant.
Yes. At first, I was over the moon. But then one day she came to me, that snake, and told me that the child was not mine. She said it was blessed by the sea. that it was demanded by the EOD. Doom take them! I couldn't stand it. I just couldn't.
There must be another way to deal with the EOD. Like, if their crimes are that obvious, why don't you just go to the police?
They're resourceful, those sons of hagfish. They maintain a squeaky clean image, and they're good at it. I tried going to the police. They were no help at all. And I'm not suicidal enough to make it public and take them to court.
What did she mean? Blessed by the sea.
What do you think is the cause of Innsmouth syndrome in people?
Living in Innsmouth?
That K-forsaken place has nothing to do with it. It comes from breeding with monsters. These sea creatures they call Deep Ones. They take our women and they spoil them with their seed. Then they give birth to degenerate fish-faced offspring.
Where did you learn all of this? This information about the EOD?
After Anna left, I had nothing. But I did have a lot of time to research Innsmouthers, the EOD, and the story behind them. It is an old and powerful organization. They appeared back in the mid-19th century in Innsmouth, and the first people with the Innsmouth syndrome started showing up around that same time.
Perhaps not coincidentally.
No, of course not. And the EOD is immensely rich. The sudden rise to power of the Blackwood family happened right after they joined them.
So what's your next move?
I was interrupted and couldn't finish my task. The EOD received a fresh haul of fish, but now they're on alert and raised their guard. I understand I'm in no position to ask. But after reviewing all the facts I've presented to you, Mr. Reed, would you agree to help me?
These are two extremes. There's no like, I'm not gonna help you. It's like, you deserve to die. Huh. You're still planning on murdering people, dude. Well, I don't know if this is like the core crux decision or what, or if there's a secondary decision after this and this is just the intro to it, but they make it really easy for me when one of the choices, when the only other choice is, I will murder you now to your face, which is, when you say you deserve to die, that's usually, it usually literally just like ends the conversation and just goes into in-game combat in most games at that moment like that. So, I guess I'm listening.
Keep talking. Now, what is it you want from me?
Poison the rest of the fish. It's spreading, but it's not enough. The EOD trusts you enough to deal with me, so it should be simple for you. My agent inside the EOD reports that they've just received a fresh haul. That's your target.
I don't want to do either of these things. I don't want to become the EOD's hitman that takes out any rival factions, because I pretty much went into this knowing that they were definitely going to be evil, because I've been exposed to enough of stuff like this, and I've seen the characterization enough, and I've seen the torture chamber in their room, so I'm not like out to squash out anybody who doesn't agree with them, because I want those people to win. But I don't support this person's choice of fighting them by poisoning the people they supposedly try to help, because while that might effectively scare them off, you're still murdering people with ricin. It's not like, oh, I've contaminated their food, they're gonna have the shits like crazy. It's like, no, they're all going to die from a very lethal substance that we have had no indication can ever be survived ever. There's no cure, and it's a horrible way to die, and it kills you in an insidious way that takes days, just to make sure that more people can be infected as a result. It's the kind of heinous thing that like really blurs the line of who the fuck is good or bad and whatnot in this kind of situation. Like, you're fighting this evil eldritch organization that's definitely going to be like the Cthulhu worshipping cult people for sure, if Cthulhu's in this game. Which I don't know if they are. Probably not. I don't know. Yogg-Sothoth-Leagdor-Fulfort, or something like that. So I want to be against those people and not be a hitman for them, covering up loose ends and taking out people who try to fight them, because inevitably these people will betray me or try to sacrifice me, or I'll lose my mind by trying to go along with their ways if I help them or whatever. But I can't just be like, yo, I'm all for helping you out and trying to fight these guys, but this is not the way. Is like a level of nuance not allowed, because it's a completely binary, massive, extreme choice. Which makes sense when the split is between the two extremes are like, do I turn this guy in or not turn this guy in? But in stuff like that, it's like, do I help him poison people or do I murder him in the face? All right. Literally every option involves blood on my hands. There's no choice. There's no chance to attempt a moral code here, I suppose. So it seems like a strange choice. I don't know. If this is where the story's going to go, though, then I guess I'm going to go this way, because I would like to fight the EOD, and I guess I have to do it this way.
Your agent inside the EOD, is he fairly high up the ranks?
Ah, I see where this is going. You need something from the EOD too.
Yeah. I'm trying to find a certain person who may be held by them.
My agent can arrange that. If someone is being held by the EOD, he'll know it. It's a win-win situation.
All right. Look, I'm gonna need to think about this.
Of course. But don't be too long. I'm going to need an answer before I let you go. I hope you can understand why.
It's a win-win situation, except for the being complicit in mass murder part. By the way, it's not lost on me at all how the game opened up by being like, yo, we're trying to preserve like the basis of how Lovecraft's writings worked and all that, so sorry about all the racism, because things got pretty racist. If you missed the clue that happened here, when you're trying to other and fearmonger about a different racial group, one of the first steps is always to be like, what about the women? They're coming for our women. They're going to rape our women, and they're going to like soil the bloodlines with interbreeding and stuff like that. It's just they made them fish people in this context, but like that is a go-to for stoking actual racism both in the past and right now. It's super common. This fear of interbreeding and being like, they're gonna come get our women is like word for word really common shit all throughout time, basically, as a go-to for fear-mongering and othering an outside group and excusing violence against them, so that it's like, see, it's okay, fight them and get them because they're gonna get your women. And so like that being in here, that's one of those moments where the writers of this game were like, we're just trying to tell a Lovecraft story, and this is part of that, which it's arguable whether or not that's even necessarily entirely valid as an excuse, because of, you know, they're still in control of the situation. You can choose which parts of the Lovecraft mythos you want to be completely true to. But yeah, that's a fear of interbreeding. It was a undercurrent element of just actual racism. We have a lot going on here. The poisoning was a sabotage, because the ranks are swelling. George Cavendish poisoned the fish to undermine the EOD's charitable operations. EOD's suspected crimes, guards afraid of Anna. No? Yeah. A zealous servant of the EOD. Anna Cavendish is a zealous servant of EOD, and she will follow any instruction without hesitation. Yeah, the suspected crimes would match up with the torture chamber. The EOD has much more going on than charity organizations. They're dirty, I know it. Whatever they're up to isn't good. What's up here? George Cavendish became desperate after EOD robbed him of his wife. He's determined to save the others from the same fate. Or George Cavendish is a dangerous psychopath who won't hesitate to kill innocents to achieve his goals. I mean, it's probably the other one, yeah. Is this a different choice? Anna Cavendish is covering up the EOD's shady ambition to take over the city. Anna Cavendish does honest charity work. No, I found the torture room. Oh. You can't... Well, no, that's not true. Yeah. Yeah. It's more that he will kill innocents to achieve his goals. Only the last line of this trilogy is correct. He's not a psycho. He is dangerous. It's the middle line that's wrong. George Cavendish is dangerous and will kill innocents to achieve his goals. He's not a psychopath, and it's not that he won't hesitate. It's he's come to the conclusion that he needs to. So yeah, this isn't accurate, but I lean towards it because of the part where like he will kill innocents to achieve his goals. I'm like yes, and he's dangerous, but there's this middle chunk here that breaks it. So yeah, he's desperate, but he's bad. But everyone's bad apparently. She's definitely not an honest benefactor. Her own employees, or whatever you want to call them, subordinates, are afraid of her for like actual violence. And they have a bloody nightmare torture chamber hidden behind a wall in their place. Yep. Help George to undermine the EOD. I should help George Cavendish loosen the EOD's grip on the city. Yep.
So, have you made up your mind?
You deserve to die. Or you can lie about helping. No.
Your methods stink, and your plan stinks. Still, the EOD is a threat, and I'm not gonna help them anymore. I'm in.
You're doing a great favor for this city, Mr. Reed. Never doubt that.
Yeah, I'm trying not to. Remind me what it is I have to do.
You need to poison the fresh haul of fish at the EOD storage. It's heavily guarded, but you'll figure out something, I've no doubt. I'll be back later. I need to see my agent. Find me after you're done. Here's the address and some ricin. Be very careful with it.
Yeah, will do. I'm not quite ready to die yet.
A flask full of ricin. Alright. Yep, we're not getting through this game clean. We're gonna be garbage no matter what. Full flask of ricin. Yeah, just dose some fish in their storage, no big deal. Western Shells and Hawking Lane between Warren Road and Liberty Road. I mean, I've already been there, but I might have to relabel it. Western Shells. Hawking Lane, is it down here? Hawking Lane. Between Warren Road and Liberty Road. Yeah, so it's just already labeled. Got it. And we finished this place. Gotcha.
Judging by the layer of dust on it, this ring hasn't been worn in a long time. So why keep it around?
When I went into this, I wasn't expecting to become the poisoner. But the alternative is to go all pro Cthulhu. Where? Oh, I'm upstairs, right. Gotcha. Whoa. Flashlight is not doing much to offset the darkness. Okay. Want to haul ass all the way over to there. So let's go visit a waypoint.
Don't do that again.
Blah. Look at shiny suit here. You positively glow, darling. And we're just about there. Hey buddy, you might want to leave this organization. You're about to get like in a lot of trouble. from all the failing you're doing. Hello.
Hello again, Daryl. I serve the sea.
See me praised, Mr. Reed. Good to see you again.
Yeah, how's it going?
Still guarding this old piece of rock, as you can see.
Mind if I go inside?
Sure, no problem with that. Stay as long as you want.
Daryl, listen to me carefully. If you want to keep breathing, you gotta skip town. Now. You're taking a lot of heat on account of that fish poisoning. The EOD is on it like a dog on a bone, and they will find out the truth eventually.
Bah, I don't believe it.
Daryl, I'm saying this only because you're a real stand-up guy and I respect you. Leave this place, forget about the EOD, or it will kill you.
Fine, fine. You've always been on the level with me. I'll leave.
Don't be a stranger, Daryl.
May the sea protect you, Mr. Reed.
You've always been on the level. I feel like that's implying a history we don't necessarily have. I've talked to him like once. But yeah, based on the fact that he appears to be some kind of fish saint man who like gives manually carves toys for orphans or whatever, like yeah, it'd be a bummer if he got killed, and we're definitely just straight up going to get him killed, because if he didn't get caught before, he's gonna be in deep shit when people find out that I poisoned everything. And he's gone. Cool. That is good. Alright, and now I'm gonna be a mass murderer. I suppose just wiping out their food stores wouldn't be the same result. Because then it gives them a martyr complex where they can refer to what we're doing. Whoops. Oh, I guess I just left that there this whole time. I probably changed quests, so I didn't remember to change it off. Alright. Meet him at the corner of Hawking Lane and Liberty Road near the fish storage. Oh. Oh, I just ran past him apparently. Whoops. There he is.
It's done. The fish have been poisoned.
Perfect. This will make a decisive blow to the EOD in Oakmont. You've done a great thing, Mr. Reed.
So, what's next on your to-do list? Hangings? Drowning kittens?
What we've already accomplished should be more than enough. After I see the EOD in ruin, I'll turn myself into the police. I'm aware of being guilty of several crimes. The least being theft and the most severe being mass murder. I won't hide from my fate.
Well, that's something at least.
I don't want anyone else to suffer my fate. And I certainly don't want anyone else blamed for my crimes.
Your contact better be worth the trouble, George.
He's already waiting for you in the basement of the fish market. His name's Fred. You'll need to tell him a password.
Oh, you're kidding me. Passwords? Again?
Oh, yes. We decided to use this EOD feature against them. Ironic, don't you think? Funny, even.
Right, funny. Yeah. Yeah, I think I just split my sides laughing.
Anyway, the password is, the sea is a cruel mistress. Good luck.
You know anything about Harriet Doe? A professor from the university.
Harriet. Ah, yes, I remember her. Brilliant anthropologist. It was always a pleasure to read her articles. Is it her you're looking for?
Yeah. She participated in Throgmorton's little, expedition to the depths. That's where the EOD captured her.
Kidnapping promising female scientists from the university must have become a hobby for them. Freaks.
Bye.
So we're going right back to the fish market then. Which was right over there. Okay. One warp away. Still better off warping than not. So no matter what path you're taking, you're killing some folks. So ultimately you just have to pick a side for what killing for what side your killing's gonna be on. I'll take it over going underwater. Your hands go right through that belly, buddy. I believe he said he's under the fish market? The basement of the fish market. The sea is a cool mistress. Alright, so there must be stairs somewhere. Goddamn landlubber. Doesn't appear to be out here.
What's your problem?
I wouldn't have guessed this. Oh, there we go. I wouldn't have guessed that this place even had an underneath. Oh, that usually means there's enemies past this point. Whenever I have to climb over something. Okay, I thought that would be the door I give the password through. Oh, hey, buddy.
Hello? Your name Fred?
Might be. What do you want?
It's funny, you know. The water's choppy, the weather bad, and I miss sailing more than ever. It's like they say, the sea is a cruel mistress.
I know what you mean. But listen, I've got a story you might enjoy. You're looking for Professor Doe, ain't that right? The scientist the Order kidnapped. I think we can help each other.
How do you mean? You know where she is?
Slow down, buddy. Helping each other is not the same as let me just tell you everything.
Nothing's for free in this city, is it? Figures. Alright. Shoot.
You won't regret it. You've seen some of this city now, am I right? You've an inkling what's coming? I want out of the Order and the city before it hits. Trouble is, it's much easier to get into the Order than to leave. Give the slightest hint of it. You've signed your death warrant. I need somebody to get me out of the city on the quiet. And that's not an easy thing these days, my friend.
I've no idea how to help you with that.
Ain't you a detective? There are people in the city, smugglers, who know what to do. Find them. That's how you can help. See, I've heard whispers about ads in the newspaper. A new ad every week, talking about Salvation Harbor. Maybe start there.
You've heard whispers about a newspaper? Have you tried reading the newspaper? Is it a secret newspaper?
Alright, fine. I'll look into it. But your lead on the professor had better be worth it.
I know where they've got her. I can get you there. You just find me a way out fast, or I might be too dead to be any use to you.
Strange. That's a good point, though. I was gonna say, I'm brand new in town, have like no connections, no knowledge of the city, really. How am I going to help you figure out how to like get smuggled out of here? And then the quest prompts like, hey, remember Throgmorton? I'm like, oh, right. Probably exactly what we need to do. Because Throgmorton will probably just take care of it himself. Because he probably already has the connections. So I may not know a guy, but I know a guy who knows guys. And there's a decent chance that that'll take care of everything.